Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar on an overview of Zoho CRM. I'm Deeksha. I'm part of the Zoho CRM webinar team, and I'm excited to be presenting this session to you today. So I'm going to run through what Zoho CRM does and explain to you what it has to offer for your business. And by the end of the session, I'm sure you'll be able to get started with everything in place. So before we dive in, just a quick note, if you have any questions during this session, feel free to type them in the question box on your screen. I'll be happy to address them for you towards the end. Also, just so that you know, I'm recording this session. I'll send you a follow-up email with the recording and any other details that I mentioned here. You can reach out to us for any kind of further help on any topic at webinars@zohocorp.com. And I'm going to be using the Zoho CRM's Enterprise Edition for today's demo purpose. I'll also be running quick polls in between just to get your reviews on certain topics that we have discussed. All right, so before we dive in, I want to make sure that everybody is able to hear me and see my screen. If you are, can you just give me a thumbs up? Great. Thank you so much for that. And also, please follow us and share your feedback with us about this webinar on X handle, mentioning at Zoho CRM or by tagging hashtag Zoho CRM. So in today's webinar, we shall discuss how CRM stands out from the crowd, what it can offer for your business, the features, the testimonials, and we'll also take some question and answers at the end. All right. So the very first question that arises that what makes CRM different? Because we have so many CRM systems around available in the market. What makes Zoho CRM different from the other ones available? Firstly, no one would like to spend hours on CRM implementation when things can be done swiftly. So CRM helps you with 50% faster implementation process. Next, the better integrations, the more you get out of your CRM. So we help you with seamlessly integrating with your 1,000+ applications available in the marketplace with your system. Third, customers have more ways to interact with your business now. Now, CRM allows you to connect with your customers through multiple channels and also is remote ready. So you can make use of our mobile version of CRM, and it has been rated best in the market due to research purposes. And you can take your mobile application with you. You can go ahead and use your CRM anywhere possible. CRM is also used for a number of Fortune companies across the various industries, ranging from manufacturing to some of the BICSS digest e-commerce giants across the world. This is because CRM is built on a highly customizable platform. We constantly improve on it, thereby ensuring the CRM will be able to meet your needs regardless of the complexity. Now, what can CRM do for your business? Apart from helping you build better customer relationships, it also helps with increasing the productivity of your salespeople working on it, because it will help them make smarter decisions, which will in turn help you generate more revenue for the organization. Also, here in CRM, we can also create personalized customer's journey, which increases the customer's loyalty and reduces the sales cycle and hence improving the customer's retention as well. Now, that being said, these are the key differentiator functionalities that makes it differentiated from the other competitors that are available in the market. So we are going to discuss each one of them in detail, and I'm going to give you a demonstration as well as to how that can be implemented in the CRM. Very first thing is omni-channel. That means CRM allows you to access and use the CRM system across the various channels. It can be email, it can be social media, live chat, web forms, or many more others. In other words, it allows you to have a real-time interaction with your customers whenever necessary. Next, we have the Canvas, which is a no-code design studio for personalized CRM experience, which will help you redesigning the look and feel of the CRM system to suit your business. And it is also a simple drag and drop editor. With the inbuilt analytics, CRM helps you in-depth analysis of your business in order to make faster and more effective decisions. Zia, being our first conversational AI, helps you with the data management of your business and extracts necessary information, automates tasks, and predicts inconsistency. Using Blueprint, you can build and implement your scalable sales process for your organization. And lastly, Command Center is an end-to-end customer journey builder. So you can design your customer's whole journey right from when they are created in the system to when you go ahead and onboard them over to the service that you have provided. Everything can be designed here in the CRM. So that is what we're going to discuss in detail today. So get started. So in order for me to explain this with the help of a real-time use case business scenario, I've taken an example of a travel agency. It's just a basic genre or vertical of business, which is probably common for a lot of customers, I guess. So I'm just going to explain and demonstrate as to how all these features have been implemented for this business and how has it been helping them to increase their sales over a period of time. To start with, the basic, the background is to what Travel Sky does is they have their own website where they offer travel packages and tourism, and people around the world, they can go ahead and pick any one of the packages here. And if they want more information, they can simply enter, fill in the details inside the form and submit it. Once that is submitted, that goes into the CRM here as a record inside the module. From there, it's all up to the salespeople. They start working on it and they will be able to carry out the sales process. So this is how this is how each and every feature that I'm going to be demonstrating is going to be explained here inside your CRM. All right. And any questions that you have, I'll probably help you with all the answers by the end of the session. All right. So the first thing is homepage. So whenever you sign up or whenever you have logged into the CRM, the very first thing that you see on the screen is the homepage. So the homepage is the main. This is the main home screen, which helps you take a quick look of the progress of your CRM activities and get an overview of how your business is performing. Okay. So now when it comes to this travel industry here, as an administrator, when I try logging in, I'd like to see what is the status of everything which is going on inside my CRM. So for that, I want to take a look at how many domestic trips that are being planned for this month, how many international trips are there that are planned for this month. Apart from that, how many open tasks are there, how many deals are active at the moment, or how many deals are there in the sales pipeline. Apart from that, how many prospects were created this week, 11, all of those things. So just if you'd like to, instead, when you want to, if you don't want to go ahead and create a report and then try to generate a report every time, go inside the module, get a count, instead of all of that thing saving your time, you can create different elements that you would like to see in the home page as an overview, and that will help you focus on understanding what is actually happening in your organization. Now, how do I create this? You can simply go to the home page, and from the home page you can click on this option right here, and from here you can create a new dashboard. So add the component. I've renamed it, so you can add the very first thing that we'll see is add a component. So from here you can go ahead and click on dashboard. You can add it from your dashboard or from a custom view or from widget or a kiosk. So I'll explain about dashboards and custom views in details in a little bit. And widgets and kiosks are some advanced automations available. So this is how a dashboard can be created. Now, if I want to create one from the scratch, what I can do is I can go to the setup icon. Under customization, I should be able to see a section for customization. I can see customize homepage. So when I click on customize homepage, so here I can see all the different home pages that I've created for myself or for others. If I'd like to create a new one, I can simply click on plus add new, and I can add components either from my dashboard or from the custom view or the kiosk as I referred to earlier. So let's add a couple of things from the dashboard. So I'm trying to add the prospects created for this month, revenue for this month, deals for the pipeline. Let's see what else can we create. How many? I want to see this week's prospect, and let's see what else. Monthly prospect creation. I'd like to see how many prospects were created each month. Apart from that, let's add some deals in pipeline, deals by stages, and I think that should be enough. Now, once you're happy with how many elements have been added, or whatever elements that have been added to the home page, you can save and share. So you can give a name to this as, let's say, managers deal homepage. So if it is only with respect to deals, you can rename this as managers deal homepage. And from here, you have an option to either create it for yourself, or you can create it for other users as well. So for example, let's say if you want to create a homepage for one of your salesperson, so that whenever they log in to the CRM, and that's what the first thing that they like to see. So you can create such a homepage for them and assign it to them. So now when you do that, I will be able to see, like here, let's say I want to share it with, give me one moment. Let's say I want to share it with the sales representative. So when I do that, when I save this now, so remember the name of the homepage is managers deal homepage, and I save this. So when I go to home, in the list of home pages, I'm not able to see that because it was only shared to the role, which is sales rep. But let's say if I want to, if I want to share it with something else, so I'm going to edit properties, and I'm going to share it with myself as well. And I am the, where is it? So I'm the administrator, so I'm going to share it with myself, and I'm going to save it. So once I do that, I will be able to see, I should be hopefully, yeah, I'm able to see that now. So depending upon where or which user you're sharing these details with, that's where the homepage will show to them. So this is how you can create your own customized homepage where you can see an overview of what is happening inside your CRM. Okay, moving on. So you've started understanding what home pages are. Now let's get your sales team inside. So the next step, what you do while after creating an account is naturally you onboard your sales team onto the CRM so that they can start working on it, right? So for that, we have to create users, and we have to give them roles and profiles. So now that we've got started with some basics, let's see how the sales team can be added to the CRM, and how do I go ahead and set them roles and profiles to them as well. So we have roles and profiles in our CRM to either decide the hierarchy of a user inside your CRM, or decide what a person can or cannot do inside your CRM. So roles generally define who can see what and determines a user's position in the organization's hierarchy. So if it is a manager, if it is a CEO, if it is a salesperson, depending upon what is their hierarchy, it will decide as to what data are they able to see inside the CRM. So they are usually used to provide or restrict action to the CRM data. For example, a CEO, again, can see all of the data available in the CRM, as compared to a salesperson who might have just limited access to the data that is just assigned to them. Next, we have profiles. Profiles determine what a user can or cannot do in the CRM. So it depends upon the permissions as to what actions the user can perform or cannot perform. So profiles give access to what user can see, create, edit, or delete. They define different permissions for user based on their designation. Now, coming to where I can do that, here, when I go to the setup icon, I can see something called security control. When I click on profile, by default, if you see, I'll be able to just ignore these four. By default, you will be able to see two profiles. One is administrator, the other one is standard. So the administrator user will have access to mostly everything. Okay. So when I click on this profile, I can see they're able to view, create, edit every module possible. They have all the administrative rights. They have all the other developer rights as well. So everything is enabled by default. This permission cannot be modified for this profile because this is system defined for an administrator. But on the other hand, for standard user, it is up to you. You can go ahead and customize the permissions that you want to give. Let's say you don't want the user to delete anything, so you've removed the delete permissions for them. So they can view a data, they can create something, they can edit something in the CRM, but when they try to delete something, it will give them an error because now they have been restricted from deleting something in the CRM. Similarly, you can go about other permissions as well, but some admin level permissions like adding users, managing the CRM's customization page, all of these admin level permissions by default will not be enabled for a standard user. Because this is a standard user, so these functions will not be allowed to them, and from there they cannot be modified as well. So if you want, in that case, if you would like to, particularly, let's say you want to create your own profile where you want to have a mixture of both, okay? You want some administrative actions available and then some needs to be restricted. In those situations, you can create your own profile for the user. So you can create your own profile, clone either the administrator or the standard user, and let's say sales rep north. So you can create and then you can further customize whatever permissions that you would like to give them or give them not. So let's say, because as I mentioned, since we have created a custom profile, I'm able to see this, and from here I can disable something if I don't want to reach out to them or anything like that. So this way you can create your own profiles for your user. I run a marketing agency, someone has asked. We are into outreach and need to fill customer details on our own. Do you think this will be useful for us? So when you say that that you have to fill in the customer's detail by your own, sure, of course, because CRM's purpose here is for you to, collect your database. So when you collect your database, whenever you see your data, you have to go ahead and design a CRM where the fields will be added. And then based on whatever customer data that you're going to capture, you can go ahead and fill in all of those details. So once you fill in all of those details, you will be able to manage the database and further carry out your sales process. So this could be of use. I'm just getting started with the overview of what CRM can do. This is just getting started. So maybe if you want to just stay until the end, you will be having a better idea about how that can be used for your business. All right, someone else has asked, can you also show how a trial org can be signed up and what are the limitations around it, number of days the orgs will be available, etc. So if you want to sign up for a trial account, it will be available for 15 days. So you can sign up for any, if you want to sign up for an account, let me show you how. Since I've already logged in there, so it won't let me show you that. So if you're a pretty new customer and if you have just getting started, you can start with a 15 days trial. for any edition of CRM that we have. And once you, because there are a lot of editions that are available, let's say we have standard, professional, enterprise, and ultimate. So depending upon which edition that you'd like to try, you can go ahead and do that. According to that, you will have the features and permissions available. Exactly everything will be looking the same, but there'll be some limitation as to how much customizations you can do, how much data you can store in the free edition. So right now, if you want to see how everything goes, you can probably sign up for an enterprise edition trial, because that's what I am using, so that you can see everything what I am doing. You'll be able to see all of that as well. I'm sorry. All right, so hope that helps. Coming back, so if that's clear, profiles are basically permissions as to what a user can or cannot do in your CRM. Okay. Next comes the roles. As I mentioned, roles are typically what a user can see or cannot see. So profiles is related to permissions, but roles are related to visibility of data. So here I've created a hierarchy as to the CGO. Is the CGO here? The CGO is the highest level of person in the hierarchy. Then comes the domestic and the international manager. See, they both go ahead and probably they report to CGO. Further, we have sales representatives and coordinator who are reporting to the domestic manager, and there is sales rep 2 who is reporting to the international manager. Now, sales rep and trip coordinator, they can see their own data, while domestic manager, along with his data, they can also see their data, because they both are reporting to them. Similarly, international manager, along with their data, which is assigned to their name, can also see sales representatives' data. And CGO, since everybody is reporting to them, can see everything which is under their organization. So that's the hierarchy, or that's the role setup available. But if you'd like to, apart from the basic role hierarchy that we have set, and if you'd like to create your own custom roles, where if you'd like to share data from, let's say you want to share data from sales rep 1 to sales rep 2. Now, this is something that we naturally it is not possible, but we have a feature that's called data sharing rules. So you can use the data sharing rule to create a rule for yourself, and say from the role sales rep 2, the data has to be shared to sales rep 1 with the permissions read, write, delete. You can also always customize this if you want to say like read only or read, write, delete. So you can go ahead and customize this and create your own sharing rule. So having a sharing rule created will define this, and you can you can share data among the users. On the Zoho one, you get like an enterprise level of CRM, so which is one of the most popular edition that we have. So yeah, so if you have Zoho one, this is also a Zoho one account, you get a CRM enterprise edition along with the other applications that we have. Right. All right. So now that we've discussed what roles and profiles are, let's understand how do I add a new user. Okay. So I can go to the user section. When I click on new user, so since it's a Zoho One account, it's going to take me to the Zoho One panel. And here I can select the user from my list that I already have. Let's see, if I'm going to add this, I can select the role that they have and the profile that I want to give them, and I can go ahead and assign. This way I can go ahead and assign a new user to my CRM account. But if it is a standalone account, that means if it's not a Zoho one but just a CRM account, then you'd need not worry. You can simply click on the new user, fill in the names, the user, the name, the email address, and the role and the profile. Everything remains the same. So this way you can create and you can onboard your users onto the CRM so that they can start working on it. All right. So the second step is also completed now. So the first step was understanding what the basics are, what is the home page. Second step being understanding how to add users to the CRM, so that you add people to the CRM account so that they can start working. Third comes customizing the CRM based on your business needs. Because now in CRM, data, like right now, I've done it based on a travel agency, but yours might be different. Like somebody said, it can be a marketing firm, it can be, it can be an IT business, it can be a healthcare industry, it can be a real estate. So we provide you a default set of CRM where default fields are available, which is highly customizable. Now, depending upon what kind of business that you have to go ahead and customize it based on your needs. So now this functionality, now we're going to look into how do we customize the CRM so that whenever your users work on that, they feel that it's probably, for their business and not something random. So to customize this, the first understand are what are modules. So in CRM, data can be categorized into different modules based on the similarity of data. So we have leads, we have contacts, we have accounts, and we have other segments. You see here are default modules. So beside the default modules, we can also create our own module, and we can also suit and unique needs that we want based on. When I go to my CRM, these are all the list of modules that I have. So prospects, contacts, accounts, deals, products, and so on. These are all the modules that are available. And when I click on a module, I can see the data that is there. So they store similar kind of data. Prospects store only data which is prospective customers or leads. And clients are basically your contacts. That means you might be doing business with them already, or you might have done business with them in the past. Companies are basically accounts which stores your organizational details. Deals are your opportunities. What is the revenue that you're going to earn out of the customer? That's what you're going to see here. And travel packages are basically the products. So the products that you've created. So these are all the modules that we have. And now when you may say that, Diksha, why is it prospects or clients or companies? Because based on what I wanted it to be, based on my business, I wanted it to be renamed as prospects. Generally, it will come as leads, contacts, accounts, but I wanted to call it as prospects company. So we can always rename that. I'll show you how to customize that. So that's the module. And earlier, remember when we were creating custom views, home pages, I said we'll talk about custom views. So this is a custom view. So you will log into the module and there are a lot of views created. For example, right now I'm under all prospects. If I'd like to see just my prospects, that means that are assigned to me, then I can switch to my prospects. So if I'd like to see all of my junk prospects, I can go ahead and see that as well if something's marked as junk. Similarly, based on a criteria, you can always create your own custom view, and that can be added to the home page. So right now, let's take a look at only my prospects. That means that is assigned to me. Okay, so that way, I didn't use any CRM previously. Currently, I have my leads data in Excel. How can I import? How? That's a pretty great answer. We are going to be discussing about that in a little bit. First, let's understand how do we customize this, okay? So I'm going to be discussing about how to add leads to the CRM. So how do I customize this? I can go to the setup icon. Under customizations, go to modules and fields. Here, you can just click on that, rename the module initially. If not, you can just click on it. We have layouts now. So layouts are basically different types of forms which have field information, okay? Now, I have a prospect can be either going to somewhere inside India or outside India. There's a possibility, isn't it? So when it comes to domestic travels, the international travels are different because I might want to have some more details, additional details, like I might want to have visa, passport, some additional documents. So all of these things are required, mandatory when it comes to international travel, but might not need when it comes to domestic travel. Just an ID card should be enough. So I'm trying to maintain all of the information, but I don't want to mess it up, or I don't want to jumble it up, right? So what I've done is I've created two layouts inside my prospects itself, where on one layout, I'm selecting the international trip, and here I'm going to add the details of the people. So I'm going to have visa, passport, purpose, and all of those details. But when it comes to the domestic travels layout, I will not be able to see any, just basic details is enough. So all of this helps me segregate and organize my data properly. Okay. So this is where all the fields are. So inside, whenever I open a module, this is how the fields look like. I can use the existing fields that I have. If not, I can always create a new field from the left itself. So I can go ahead and, depending upon what type of field do I need, I can have to just drag and drop it here. So this way I can create a custom field inside your CRM. So now that's custom view is custom field is created. What if I want to create a whole new module by myself? So for that, I can create a custom module also. So here I can create a module, and I can go ahead and add as many fields as I would like to. So this way we can make use of the existing fields, or you can create your own fields, or you can create your own modules as well. Right. All right. Moving on. We have Canvas. Now, Canvas, as I mentioned earlier, it's one of the ways in which we are going to bid by to the traditional way of viewing tabular data arrangement. So when I open it, let's say if I open a record, okay. So any detail of a customer is called as a record. So when I open a record, I see like this very boring travel details where I have to probably scroll down to the bottom. Nothing is pleasing to the eyes. As a salesperson, probably I might find it very boring for me to work on this. But what if it looks something like this, where I see colors, I see the the orientation of different fields that I have. I can simply switch it to different tabs right here. So all fields, if I want to see, I can go ahead and see it like this. I can, if I don't want to see them, I can close it. So this is a much efficient way of how I can view my data. And that's how it is created using Canvas. So Canvas is our no code design tool to help you change the look and feel of how the CRM data looks. So you can go ahead and create a Canvas view for the detail view. So you can create a record page. So you can decide for which module you want to create it for. Let's say if I want to go for the prospects module and for this layout. So here, when I do this, I'll be able to, it gives me a couple of templates that I can use. So I can use any one of these templates right here. Anything that I like. If I don't like anything, I can always go and create a canvas from scratch. So that's how easily you can create your own UI for viewing the data. So as I mentioned, it's a no code drag and drop interface. Like it is showing in this video, you just have to drag and drop the elements inside the module and design your own canvas. And we have ready to use templates as well, which can help you with with customizing the CRM. All right. So we now let's go through this from the beginning. So what we did was we understood what homepage is, and then we onboarded all of our users. Next step, what we did was we customized our CRM so that everything becomes acclimatized, and we know all the words, all the wordings, everything that we know how to work with it. Next thing is importing data. We need data to work with, right? So that's what I guess somebody asked right now. So this is the next thing that we want to do. After customizing the CRM, we need to add data into the CRM to start working on it. So for that, we need to understand how do you do import and export. So for importing, we have multiple ways of importing data into the CRM. Okay. So first way is generally you go into the record. So if you've not been using CRM at all, and if you want to manually enter data, simply just come here, create a prospect, fill in the details, you're good to go. But let's say if you had an Excel file like somebody asked, and if you'd like to put that into the CRM, so you just click on this option right here, and you will be able to see the option that says import prospects. So when you do that, it'll ask you to drag and drop the file that you have. If I don't have an Excel, we support a CSV or an XLS. So let's say if I don't have a file, I'll probably just download a sample file for you now. So, and I just have to import it over here. Once it's done, it says imported successfully. I just have to click on next. So this is the first stage where it'll ask you to which layout do you want to import it to. Let's say I want to import it to the domestic layout. Then what do you want to do with the records in the file? So you can either add them as new records, you can update the existing ones, or you can do both. That means if that is there in the record, then it'll update the data. But if it is not there, if it's a brand new one, you can simply add a new data. So once you've selected, I want to add them as new data. So I'm just going to click on next. Now, this is the vital part of import, okay? Because this is where the mapping happens. So you're going to map the details that you have in your file to the fields available in your CRM. So there are a lot of chances that you probably are calling something different. Like, the name that you might have for leads is customers probably. So you have to make sure to get all the data, the mapping is done correctly, and you map all of your mandatory fields as well. So if in case all the fields are same, you can always apply auto mapping. So it will automatically map all the fields which are possible. And then you can click on next. Make sure that the mapping is done. And then this is the final stage where it's going to ask you, do you want to assign them based on assignment rule? That means assignment rules are automations which will help you distribute the leads the records that are being created among all of the users equally. Okay, so if you want to distribute them based on an assignment rule that you've created, you can do this. If you want to trigger a workflow automation that is created for these records that are importing, you can have this trigger, have this enabled. If you want to create a follow-up task, so if you create as soon as you've created, you want to create a task for yourself that call the customer in 2 days. So you can add a follow-up task for that from here. Or else, if you don't want them to put them into the database directly, but instead enable a manual approval process, then in that case, you can go about selecting this option right here. If everything is done, just select the Zoho anti-spam policy, and you can go ahead and finish the import. Once you've done finish the import, it'll take some time depending upon how much data that you have. So it'll take the time to import the data. Now, if you want to take a look at the statistics of how much data has been imported and stuff like that. So now if you see the import is successful, and I've got a notification at the bottom right-hand corner. But I want to take a more detailed view about what happened about the data import that I've done. So for that, we have to come under data administration. There is a section for import. So when you click on import and there is an import history, I can see what on all I have imported and what has happened. So right now I've added 3. That means that everything got added, the sample file that I imported. Nothing got skipped and stuff like that. But in the past, there have been things that have got skipped. So in those situations, you can either undo the import, which is available only for the first 7 days. If not, you can see what made the record get skipped. So I can see the following mandatory field was left empty. So there was no mandatory field data, and hence it got skipped. So this way you can see the history of the import that you have done. Now, that's about when you are trying to import data from an Excel file. Now, let's say you're trying to migrate from a different CRM altogether. So how do you do that? It's going to be the same process, but a little different. So here you're going to select what kind of CRM you were using before. It could be Salesforce, it could be Zoho CRM also. or it could be Sugar CRM, Pipedrive, HubSpot, anything. If it is not available in this list right here, you can always go for other CRM. And then after that, all the process is the same. So you have to browse the files, you have the module mapping, then we have field mapping, and that's done. So that's how data migration can be done inside your CRM. Why do you need to select a layout for importing? Importing should just upload the data and structure and layout in the visualization of the imported data. All right. So the reason why we need to upload data in a particular layout is you can either put it in the standard layout. Okay. So it's not mandatory. But since I've created multiple layouts, there are a lot of instances that I only want to upload data for a particular layout, where in the layout is particularly for categorizing the number of fields that I have, isn't it? So in domestic, I'll probably have fields which are, which are only for domestic travels, like ID card and number of people traveling. That's it. But if I'm trying to upload something which is under my international travel layout, I need to make sure that I need to have the visa details. I need to have the passport details. So the kind of data that I'm importing would be different. Because field mapping is as I mentioned, it's the crucial step, right? So field mapping is important. And if I don't have the respective field mapped properly, then I won't have the data. So if you don't have any custom layout created in your CRM, then it should not be an issue for you. But if you have created multiple layouts, then it's necessary for you to specify which layout that you want to be importing the data into, so that the field mapping comes in, and you can go about doing this or arrange all of your data and get all of your data properly. Okay. All right. So that's about importing. Now exporting is pretty simple, straightforward. Just click on the export option right here. Start an export. Select the module which you want to export, and all the clients do I want to export, all the fields I want to export. That is it. So once you're done, it will help you download a file. So you can download this on your CRM and you're good to go. So that's how easy it will be. I'm so sorry. How Google Sheet import works. Again, you can, if you have it as in a Google Sheet, then you can just download the sheet that you have and it's going to work the same. So once you've downloaded the sheet, you can just import it using this import functionality, and you should be good to go. So Google Sheets, you just have to make sure that you download the data as a Excel or CSV. All right, next we have something called Sandbox. Sandbox actually is a very cool feature where, now let's say I'm trying to make all these customizations that I have in my CRM, and there are a lot of people, salespeople who are already working on it, and they probably might see that, okay, some things have changed. And there are a lot of instances that they will make some changes and something will happen because you're trying to make changes in your production account, right? So a lot of times it's also a risky business, because you might end up sending out an email to a customer that you should not have, because in the process of testing. So if you don't want to mess out with your database, and if you still want to be able to test things out, all customizations and all of these things, um, those situations, Sandbox is a super efficient feature available. So going to Sandbox, here you can go create a sandbox for yourself. Like I've already created a test sandbox. You can go to the sandbox. When you go to this, you will see this yellow color bar on the top. And when you see the yellow color bar, that means that this is not your production account. This is your Sandbox account, which is like a test environment. So you will see you don't have data here, much data. You can do all the customizations that you want. You can do all the automations that you want to configure and see how this works, see internally how to test it out. And then when you feel, okay, this is working pretty cool, and then you want to implement it in your production account, in those situations, just come back to the CRM, and here you will see a list of all the changes that you have made. And then you can simply select that and deploy the changes to the production. So this way you can test something out, see how it works for your business. If it is working fine, push it to the CRM, to the production account using the sandbox functionality. Right, so that's about how we can manage your data, do customizations and all. Next is sales process. So now we've done everything. We need to understand how to do sales process management, how to carry out your sales process, and for that we need to fetch data, and how the data is transmitted across your salespeople is what is important. So for that, the very first thing is Blueprint. Blueprint is one of our process management features, which is which helps you with the designing as to what has to be done or what has not to be done, or what is the procedure of something that has to be done inside your CRM. So I'm pretty sure that you might have come across a situation that you might have had a new joinee in your organization. Okay, and when the new joinee comes, what will you do generally? You will probably have another person appointed to train that person for about 2 or 3 months. Okay, this is the process, and this is what you have to do. This is what data that you have to transfer, this is what data you have to collect, or this is the procedure how to move from leads to deals to accounts and things like that. So you have to explain all of those things to them, and even after explaining or spending time on training, there are a lot of instances that they may make error inside your CRM, right? So how do we go about avoiding that? We can design a blueprint which is like an online replication of your offline business, so that the system tells you what has to be done. Now, for example, let me show you one of my blueprints that I've created. Okay, let's say this one. So if you take a look at this blueprint here, you will understand the complete business process. Okay, what happens is, first the lead comes in, then we convert it into a contact, and this is when the deal starts getting created. So first is the qualification process. So what do we do is, here we qualify if the customer is ready to make a purchase. If, for example, one of you have come to me to purchase a trip to Fifi Island. Okay, let's say. So first we'll see if they are qualified, if they really want to go travel to Fifi Island, and if they have agreed upon an itinerary. Then all the bookings will be done, where we'll start looking for a hotel, we'll do the flight check-ins and all of those things. We'll start booking all of those details. Then the customer would have to make a half payment so that we can go further with the bookings. After that, a full payment would be received from the customer after we hand over half of the bookings to them. Here are the final steps where we attach documents. Like, since it's an international travel, they probably have to give us some visa documents or passports and things like that. So attached copy of that. And finally, invoice generation as to how much the trip costed, and final dues if there is any, and then that's thank you. And then cancellation can happen at any point of this step. Okay, so I've kept it as a common transition, so at any point the customer can cancel it. But this is the flow of how this company works. And I need, for me to explain this to somebody new, and there are still possibilities that the person can make any kind of mistakes, because that's pretty human, right? So having this set in the CRM, or if I put this into the CRM itself, then in that case CRM will go about imposing restrictions on the users, that you can't go on to the next step unless you finish these details. So here I've created this process for the, so, and also during the transition I can make sure I'm getting them details. So I need to make sure the date of birth is filled, the mailing country, the notes are taken, and afterwards I can go ahead and trigger actions like sending out email notifications, tasks, meetings, calls, etc. So I can go ahead and make sure that I have them do this as well. So at every transition I can go ahead and decide what happens before, what happens during this transition, and what happens after this transition as well. So everything I can go about designing. Okay, so now this is created, the contact process I've created. So here when I go to my contacts, let's open any one of the contacts right here. Okay, so if you see, right now I am not able to change the client status because the field is associated with the blueprint. Now, if somebody, if I'm assigning this record to one of our sales representative, and the first stage is qualification process. So for him to go to qualification process, he cannot go ahead and randomly change the status. He can't do that. He has to go via these transitions firstly. Okay. So when I click on qualification process, he has to fill in this details, unless if he doesn't fill in the detail. For example, let's say if he puts in some notes, and if he's not putting the date of birth or anything, and if he's trying to save it, it's not going to let the save. So here he can save as draft until he can get the details later. Let's say if you want to put the details, I'll put the details as something, whatever. Okay, so when I put in the details, only then I'm able to move on to the next step, which is booking. Okay, so now again, when I see the booking, now if I want to click on booking, I have to make sure that I go ahead and do a couple of steps. So similarly, at every stage, you can design what has to be done before, what has to be done after, or what can be done during the transition. And this way you can restrict or you can control what the user has to fill in inside your CRM in order for them to move from one stage to another. Because if you don't do this, a salesperson probably can just simply, without getting the details, they can change the status and move further. But then at one point, you probably will think that these details. Oh, I'm so sorry. It got muted. I'm so sorry. So yeah, that was that being said, that's a overview of how a blueprint can be created inside your CRM, from where you can design how a user goes from one stage to another, and based on that, you can make sure that the adequate details are being collected. Okay. Next understanding. So we've got the data, we've understand everything, and now we need to do analytics as well, right? So for that we have dashboards and reports. Dashboards and reports in CRM helps you understand or get an overview of what exactly are happening, what activities are happening in your CRM. So you can manage all of your dashboards and multiple views that we have created. So remember, we tried creating a dashboard. So that's the same. You can go to the dashboard section. From here, you can create your own component and you can create a dashboard depending upon what kind of data that you'd like to see. All of these details can be captured inside your CRM accurately. So this will help you with the, like understanding where the leads are, how many leads were created for a month. So instead of looking at boring tabular information, you can always go about creating dashboards, which I'll probably discuss in a little. Next, we have mobile analytics. So now you don't have to sit on the computer all the time to access your CRM. We have the Zoho CRM mobile application, which is pretty handy, and you can use that anywhere on the go. So if you're not in front of the system, no worries. You can find these analytics just by downloading the CRM mobile application, which is available on Apple Store or which is available on Google Play as well. And yeah, so you can go ahead and do that. Can we register multiple entries on the same contact number? You can. So when it comes to contacts, here, when I open this up, so you might have multiple contact persons inside the same record. So you can create multiple, I'm sorry, here, there is no contact available. So inside a record itself, you can create multiple records inside your CRM. like multiple CRM and having multiple people associated with this same contacts. You can do that. So having a same, or you can also create like a form inside it. So if you want to capture multiple patients from the same family, so you can add a row to this, keep on adding those details, as many as people you want. But Krishna being the main person, you can keep on adding more details to it. So yeah, so you maybe want to try this. Okay, so CRM plus dot Zoho. Okay, I guess you are using CRM plus. You maybe want to use CRM dot Zoho dot in. That should work. Okay, so yes, the mobile analytics available, as I mentioned, it is available on App Store as well as Google Play. Great for on the go working. You can go probably use that application to work with your CRM. So on the mobile, you can create leads, you can monitor your tasks, you can do meetings, you can set up reminders. Everything can be done on the mobile application that you want to do on the go. You can make calls, but just the main things like customizations you can't do. But apart from that, maintaining your sales process, everything can be done on the mobile application. Next, we have Zia. Let me introduce you to Zia, which is our AI-powered sales assistant for the CRM. So she intelligently suggests the best time to contact a person. How cool is that? Also suggests relevant macros and optimizes your CRM's data by data mining and machine learning to deliver the key business information, such as sales predictions, suggestions, and alerts. So what this will do is like, for example, I've got this contact. Okay, on this contact, I can see that the best time to call, it's no best time to call today. So what Zia will do is, based on, since you have Zia enabled for my account, it will suggest me based on the earlier conversations. It will suggest me what's the best time to contact that particular customer. um, if there is a particular time to contact. Right now I don't have any conversations with the customer, that's why it's saying no best time. But then in your account, if you have conversations with your clients regularly, based on that, it is going to suggest what's the best time to suggest it to your customer. So that way you can go about setting up AI for your CRM. Also, we have Ask Zia. So here you can go ahead and ask something. So how many deals were created for this month? How many, what's the sales pipeline, or how many data was created for your in your CRM? How many domestic trips are traveled? If you want to ask anything on the go, you can go ahead and ask Zia, and it's going to give you those information. How do I enable that option? I go to setup. We have a completely different section for Zia available. And under Zia, you have to go under communication. Make sure that these things are enabled. And you can also set up predictions as well. So predictions as to here, we are asking if Zia can predict if a deal can be won or not. So you can try to add prediction inside your CRM. For example, let me show you one of them. So in the deals predicting expected revenue, if the probability is more than 50%, I want Zia to predict if the sales is going to happen or not. So based on these data, I can set up predictions for my CRM. So we have a lot coming in store about Zia, which probably we'll have a completely different session about that altogether. But there are a lot of things that Zia can do that we'll discuss. Then we have team collaboration, which means that let's say you're working on the CRM and you want to internally talk to your users, okay? And you don't want to separately call them on their mobile, or you don't want to use Slack or some other application to connect with them. Instead, we have our Clicks internal integration available. From here, I can just click on the chats. I can see all of my contacts, all of my users available. I can simply click on that user, and I can see if the user is, firstly, if he is available or not, if they're online or not. So from here, I can either do a call or I can send out a message as well. Hey, can you give me an update about a particular record? So this way I can ask for, or I can talk to my internal people using the collaboration feature and the 360 views as well. When I come into a particular record, from the timeline, everything, I can see what has happened to this record. So since from when it is created, I can see the record being created, edited, what are all things has happened, everything I can see. So it's like a 360-degree customer view. You can see all the details assigned to him. So anything that's associated to them, everything can be viewed from here. Now that being discussed, let's take a look at the marketplace section. So if you are using any other applications to, already, if you're using for other different purposes, and if you'd like to connect them to the CRM, push data or pull data, we have marketplace available where we support more than 1,000 extensions. These are all provided by third-party developers. So you can switch to marketplace, go to all, and here you can search for any kind of application that you're looking to integrate with. And if that is available, you can simply see, and you can go ahead and integrate and further use it for your company's benefit. All right, here are some of the customer testimonials provided by Sherpa, Bernard Health, Selectra, Revision Energy. These are all our consistent customers, and IIFL is one of the biggest companies, and they have 28,000 user licenses provided. This testimonial about how CRM has helped them grow their business and customer journey. All right, with that, we've come to an end to this session. I hope it was useful to you guys. And if you have any questions, I'm open for any questions that you have. You can just put it on the chat box for me. I'll be happy to assist you with that. Meanwhile, somebody asked, can I get the recording of the session? Yes, exactly. So once we're done with the session, you will get an email with the recording and all the details that are mentioned during this presentation. I'm so sorry. Somebody has asked, do you have any person who can do it for us? You can call a support team. They can probably help you with understanding all the requirement that you have and help you with implementing everything, but they won't do it for yourself. You will have to do it for yourself. So you will probably have to go through it and do. So everyone will get the recording of this session. So don't worry about it. Regarding data management, Pabbly, Facebook, Google integration is possible for leads data integration to the CRM. It mostly be live integration. Yes. So when it comes to Facebook and Google integrations, so we have direct integrations available. So Google, we have contacts, calendar, Google Ads, and Google Chat as well. So you can authenticate your account, Google account here. And for Facebook as well, you can go ahead and we have lead chain, Facebook lead chain, which will help you synchronize all of your lead ads that you have created. So if you have the details, then you can go about adding those details right here. Pabbly, I'm not sure. We don't have any direct integration with that application at the moment. So in situations like these, then I'd suggest you can go for API integration. From our side, what we can do is we can provide you all the API documents that's required. So if something that I mentioned it is not available, then API integration is the way. So you can make sure you can use of the API names that we have provided, or if you have a developer who will help you out with this, you can simply you can go to this option and then you use this API documentation, and then you can push it across all of your to your developers. They'll probably help you out with the API integrations that is available. So that way you can simply make sure that how to you can connect a different application to synchronize all of your applications directly. And also, I'm just running a quick polls here. So if you'd like to just take a minute to answer them, that'll be great. Um, how a real estate business can benefit from CRM. So, okay, so when it comes to real estate business, again, it's going to be the same process here, Jim. So you can consider as to people who are going to prospect for the land or the building that you're providing. So you can put them into a different module. CRM will help you with timely following up with the clients regularly. You, depending upon what kind of client it is, you can go ahead and set up meetings for yourself. You can try following up with them. You can carry out a sales process, and it is going to help you with the sales pipeline management as well, where you can go ahead and set it up. So everything can be captured, and it is, you can connect multiple ways also. So you can maintain a website, as I have done. From the website you can get details. You can connect your social media accounts to get in details. For example, you have your Facebook, you have your Twitter, so you can connect those accounts in the CRM to gather details. So as much details as possible, you can put it in the CRM, and then you can try following up and working and seeing what strategies work your best. How to delete CRM, Zoho CRM Plus, and come back to CRM. Okay, so that's a completely different process. You might want to get in touch with a support team for that. You can drop an email to our you can drop an email to our support team, which is here, webinars@zohocorp.com. We can guide you with understanding how to delete the CRM Plus and come to the CRM, or you can always help you with the downgrade process. Can we create custom sales pipeline that matches our funnel? Of course, all the time. So this is all provided inside our CRM. If you want to create your own sales pipeline, you can do all the time. You can go to the modules and fields. Under deals, you have something called stage probability mapping. And from here, you can change the sales pipeline that you have. And you can change the number of fields that you have, and you can create your own pipeline. I'm so sorry. We don't have any names of developers. That's something that you'll have to get in touch with yourself. I'm so sorry. We don't have developers at our side. So you can get in touch with some developers who can help you out with connecting your third-party applications. So from our end, what we can do is we can just provide you the API documentations. The rest, everything you have to go ahead and take care. So Instagram, I guess somebody asked, how do I add Instagram to convert leads to social? Well, currently the social integration that we have only supports Twitter, and that's X handle, and Facebook. For Instagram, I might want to suggest you, if you are a Zoho One user, then might look into Zoho Social. It's another application of ours where you can probably connect your third Instagram or any other YouTube account also, and from there you can push details into the CRM. So if you have connected Zoho Social, which is particularly for your social media channels, from there you can go ahead and convert it into your CRM. So can we create a custom sales pipeline match fun? Yeah, as I mentioned, you can totally create your own custom sales pipeline. You just have to go to the setup icon under deals. You can go to where you have the stage probability mapping. From there, you can create your own funnel. If it needs to be a prospect, then lead, the demo, the conversion, or however you would like to, you can create your own funnel. How to do team collaboration. So yeah, for team collaboration, as I mentioned, here I can see at the bottom, you will be able to see the click icon here. So it's a default integration which is available in all accounts. Make sure you'll be able to see the bottom left corner. Just click on it. If you have users available, you can add them here from to be able to do do team collaboration. Great. I guess somebody is going to help you out with the developer thing. All right.